Hello everyone, and welcome back to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is the Rat's Nest. I'm joined today, as always, by Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hey everyone.
We're back with Chainsaw Man. It's been 2 weeks, and it'll be another 2 weeks after this.
I don't mind it being bi-weekly. I think it's a good change. If that's what he needs to write his manga, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, on one hand, I want Fujimoto to be happy. I want what's best for him. And I really am glad, because I think we can definitely see in the art that it has improved. That having the extra week definitely helps towards the quality of it. But, I'm fine with it being two things. It's just, I want Chainsaw Man, you know?
It also gives him more time to think, because, again, if you're writing weekly, I'm not saying that no one plans ahead, but it's easier to plan ahead when you have an extra week also of prep for the chapter.
Yeah.
But let's get right into the chapter. This one was a good chapter. It was one of the. It felt like one of the, the falling actions after a big climax scene. In fight, taking over the fight with Asa.
This was kind of the reintroduction of Dennis after he was brought back last chapter. We got to see him last chapter, so I guess that would be his technical reintroduction.
I saw Chainsaw Man last chapter, but this chapter we Dennis.
I love Dennis.
He and Yoshida. We finally get confirmation on the relationship between those two, as in Yoshida.
They're gay lovers. So on the first page, we get to see some of how commercialized Chainsaw Man has become, and also how kind of he's a polarizing figure. As we get to see, the Chainsaw Man shirts, the dude that's advertising as Chainsaw Man, and then the blimp against Chainsaw Man, and then we get crowd reactions from the news. Chainsaw Man, I'm a huge fan. Too gory for kids, though. Just can't accept him. I don't like him, I guess.
Yeah,
Chainsaw Man, my entire class is obsessed.
A lot of reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
And what I told Brandon before recording was, I honestly thought this was going to be an entire chapter where it was just crowd reactions. It felt like something that he would have done.
Yeah, I think Fujimoto definitely could have done that.
Typical Fujimoto action.
I feel like there's a good amount of things here, of different reactions.
There is, but I don't know if I want to dwell on all of these for too long. Because
I totes love Chainsaw Man. If you're watching this, give me your number.
Okay, that one,
did.
That one we'll go back to, because what ends up happening is, throughout all these crowd reactions, the cameraman finally gets to interviewing or getting information from Denji, and we see Denji basically trying to answer all the crowd's answers because he is Chainsaw Man. And at the end, he is about to dox his phone number because the one girl that Brandon mentioned was like, "Give me your number." He's like, "Okay."
By the way, just my guess, Chainsaw Man's number is 34.
Just this guess.
It cuts off, and they're cheering for Chainsaw Man. You have Dennis in the back looking proud. He's like, "Yeah, that's me." Yoshida comes up to him, and he's like, "Hey, Denji, how are you doing?" You get to see Dennis be a little, he's a little apprehensive. How do you know my name? We've met. You remember when you had all the assassins after you? The funny comparison everyone's making is, well, Dennis didn't even remember Yoshida. Half the fan base didn't whenever he was reintroduced this part.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was either.
Yeah, it took me a sec. Whenever I saw him first, I was like, "Is that Dennis?" But then I was like, "No, that's Yoshida," because he's one of 5 characters to survive from part 1.
I didn't know that it was Yoshida, but I thought, is this someone that we've seen before? Yeah.
So he offers to take him to a cafe. And this is interesting. So he says, Yoshida's like, "Oof, that hurts. We've met. You remember when you had all those assassins after you?" Dennis pauses and he goes, "Never happened." I think that's especially interesting, given, gonna skip ahead a little bit. Obviously, but so Dennis says that his point now, the reason why he fights devils as Chainsaw Man, is because he wants people to find out that he's Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
So why then is he so apprehensive about his past?
That's
something I noticed on my little reread of the chapter. I was like, that's interesting, because you feel like if that happened, he'd be like, for someone who wants to be found out, he sure does hide his identity.
And I was gonna bring that. I was gonna say that exact thing where whenever it's the panel of him eating the cake, we'll get to it. When he's like, "I want all the ladies to know who I am." I'm like, then you could easily make that known. If he just walked in front of a crowd said, "Hey, everyone, pull out your phones, watch this," and just transformed. Like,
Yeah.
he could, if he really wanted to be found out, he would have been found out.
I think to some level, definitely the statement is true. It's
Is
just
that what you were
to
gonna bring
what
up?
level?
Is that what you were going to bring up earlier?
No. What I'm going to bring up is a little bit. I've been hanging Kyle by a thread on something I read. We can see Dennis is broke, so the Aki's money has apparently run out. Raising like 8 dogs and 2 cats and a human will do that.
Yeah.
Dennis is ordering. Yoshida's being super fake. So this is something interesting that I also read. Is this chapter is the first chapter we get to see Yoshida without a smile. At the beginning he's kind of his normal self, smiling and all that. But he drops it.
He drops the facade.
He drops it when Dennis starts eating the cake with his hands. So we get a little bit of information. So it's confirmed that Dennis goes to the same school as Asa and Yuko and Yoshida and all them. And it's confirmed that Yoshida's there to keep an eye on Dennis, which we all thought. But it's confirmed now. He's belonging to an organization that's tasked me with keeping an eye on you. I think if it was the Devil Hunter Association, he'd just say the Devil Hunter Association. Plus, Yoshida in part 1 was a freelance Devil Hunter. He didn't belong to the Devil Hunters Association. So the question is, who is he working for?
Who knows? That's something to find out.
It's not an evil organization like in some manga. Our goal is simply to ensure that you live a peaceful life. I think that's a complete lie. One, because Yoshida's still smiling, and 2, because that just wouldn't exist. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Fujimoto could do it.
I'm doubtful of that. Like this, I just cannot take. Well, Denji's gonna live a happy life at a face value. Then we get a panel struggling to say the word caramel or car, wherever you're from. Either one's correct.
And this is also it's character development because Denji can now read a tiny bit.
Yeah, as compared to not being able to read at all.
So he is learning. My point is, I'll be in trouble if the public finds out you're Chainsaw Man. What's going to happen if I'm found out? Once your secret identity is exposed, I won't let you eat this cake. Say what? He doesn't let him. So Denji, he takes his hand, cuts into the cake, and he starts eating it. Here's the thing I was going to say, Kyle. It is shown in this chapter that Denji specifically wants to have his cake and eat it too.
Oh, that's okay. I thought it was something. I didn't think it was more like metaphorical like that. I thought you meant something literal, like information I was overlooking.
Yeah, no. That's why I said, like, if you found it out, I'd be like, how? Yeah, so this is Denji wants to have his cake and eat it too, and that's shown visually. And I think that's with he wants people to find out he's Chainsaw Man, but he also wants to keep living his normal life. And as Yoshida says, that just can't happen.
Who did you say brought this up? Because you said you didn't know this either until you saw someone talk about
it. It was someone on Twitter. I don't know.
Based.
That's so true. Twitter's awful, but every once in a while it has a good thought.
That is a great visualization of what Denji wants to have his cake and eat it too. That's an interesting idea.
It's also, I think, presented in the fact that Yoshida, by holding the silverware back, Denji has his cake, but Yoshida is saying you can't reveal yourself, is preventing Denji from eating it, but he has it and he eats it too.
Anyway.
Yeah,
hey, just eat it anyway.
And Fujimoto being a huge film buff, I think I think that's possibly a very intentional thing that he drew there.
Yeah, I'll go with it. And it's Chainsaw Man. Anyone can look at any panel and be like, "Yo, this panel's mind blowing," and it's Denji in the bathroom or something. And it's like, "Yo, but you don't understand the implication, the lore." So it's every panel is suspect for being some mind-blowing revelation. So it's kind of hard to keep track of all of them, and every panel is what people think could be the next big one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you let the cat out of the bag, the life you have now will fall apart. Besides, why are you fighting as Chainsaw Man anyways? You don't get paid for it either. Why bother? I fight because I want people to find out that I'm Chainsaw Man.
As he devours his
as
cake.
he's eating the cake.
And then he gets
a nice
coffee and orange juice.
Do we get this? So this is genuine Yoshida. Yeah. He's not smiling anymore. He's not being fake anymore.
Yeah,
I think that's very intentional.
he was trying to be like happy and try to be like, oh, Denji, because now that he found out that Denji isn't exactly cooperative, I think he's trying to like, he's not putting on a fake face anymore. He's like trying to get down serious. So it's like, okay, why?
Yeah.
That's what he asks them. Then he says,
once my secret's out, the ladies will be all over me. I think that's 100% genuine.
And then we get a good one of the
that's
Yoshida's genuine confusion on the matter.
He's just genuinely lost for words, just flabbergasted.
I feel like that's going to become a meme. I don't know why.
It's good. It's very good. And then we get that sick last panel with maybe some symbolism, as Kyle pointed out to me and as other people have pointed out. In the last panel, there's an empty bird cage above them. What does that mean?
With a single feather. Oh, the implication, the lore. Oh,
what does it mean?
A diner. It could just be something in a diner, but no, it has to be something huge.
This chapter is just the meme of the dude standing in the corner, and it's Denji, and he's saying they don't know I'm Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, then again, this nice chapter to bring us back into the world of Denji. Not Chainsaw Man, but Denji.
Yeah, so I think last chapter I said that Denji wouldn't be the protagonist, and we'd still follow Asa and Yoru, and that's just objectively not true. And so, I mean, I don't think I've ever predicted a chapter correctly.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said,
no, you've been wrong trying to predict chapter. Well, I think it could do a good job juggling both. Like you could have. I'd still say both could be of important relevance. Like who knows? Maybe Asa could be like, if not the A character, like not A, B. If not the protagonist, the deuteragonist of this part.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have brought up the fact that Denji, at least on the surface, wants a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And, we can sit here and debate why and use our big brains to find out, why does he want that? What deep recesses of his psyche do that? But the fact of the matter is that he wants a girlfriend, or he wants a girl.
He wants to be loved.
And Yoru wants to turn him into a weapon, or get him to vomit nuclear bombs back up. Chainsaw Man and Yoru are going to meet up at some point. And that means that Denji and Asa are going to meet up at some point.
I said this a few chapter reviews ago. I said, wouldn't it be crazy if she dated Denji and somehow was like, because he's her boyfriend, going off of how the War Devil works, it's like, oh, well, you could use him as part of my power.
Yeah. So it's just a question of when are they going to meet? And what's exactly going to happen at their meeting?
Hear me out. Crazy prediction for next chapter. Asa's going to trip at the very end. She can look up and Denji's going to be like, hey, you okay? And just stick his hand out.
I was going to say, yeah. So, going into next chapter, Kyle, do you think we're going to be following Dennis still, or are we going to go back to Asa?
You forgot about the wild card, Kobani.
Dude, if we get Kobani next chapter, I will cry.
That's my prediction. You know what? Prediction time. We got Dennis, we got Yoshida. I want to see Kobani.
If we see Kobani, I'll actually finish Shield Hero Volume 19 and post my review of it. How's that?
You know what? I like that.
I'll take that bet with you. Two weeks from now, I'll wake up on Tuesday morning in a cold sweat, just praying to God as I open the chapter.
That's my funny Mimi prediction. But for like actual prediction, I feel like we could, because now we have a decent conclusionary spot with Dennis to. Okay, side note, I hate calling him Dennis now. It's just the norm. Now that we're done with Dennis, at least as of now, we're at a good stopping point right now to where the meeting could be left at. It's like a good transitionary. Yeah. We could go back to Asa and her friend and the War Devil and what happened after the fight that they just had. But the Mimi prediction is Kobani shows up, and if you heard it here, if Kobani shows up next chapter 104. Brandon has declared that he's going to record Shield Hero Volume 19.
Yeah, I'll actually finish it. How about that?
Alrighty,
well. Yeah, no, I mean, what exactly I don't know. I could see us going back to Asa. I could see us sticking with Dennis. I think the story's at a very open place right now.
I could see the story ending this chapter. I don't know why.
I could see Chainsaw Man ending this next chapter, yeah.
Yeah, you could just say, alright, it's over. That's it. Show's over.
It's chainin' time.
If he actually said it's Chainin time. Oh, that'd be great. But I don't think he ever would. But yeah, any other thoughts on this? I mean, we talked about it for the most part. It was a short 2-scene chapter, just kind of getting us back into Denji and Yoshida's, like, what they want right now, what their objectives are.
Again, it's possible that Yoshida could introduce Dennis to Asa. But also, I think that Yoshida knows that Asa has devil possession, because he has seen both Asa and the War Devil, and he saw her transform. So it's entirely possible. We just don't know. So then the question is, would he introduce Dennis to her? Because if he didn't know that she was the War Devil, he could go, oh, well, here's this girl that asked me out. He supposedly he wants Dennis to live a normal happy life.
Hang on. Right. So, yeah, you said that Yoshida saw her transform?
Yeah, because there's a visual distinction between Yoru and Asa. It's the scar across the face and the eyes.
Okay, you meant that. Yeah, no, he definitely saw that.
Yeah, because Asa was talking to him, and then Yoru took over the body and asked him out. So he's seen both Asa and Yoru. He's seen her, whatever. And then the running theory is that this is a devil possession, and Yoshida, as a devil hunter, would know that. So the question is, would he introduce them on purpose? Because if he didn't know, I could see him being like, oh, here's a girl that's desperate. Here's a guy that's desperate. Let's see, why not? They're both incels, so we'll check it out.
But that would be undermining Yoshida's, like, smartness in that.
Yeah.
A girl transformed right in front of me and basically swapped personalities. A little crazy. I don't know if I should. I mean, if they met,
maybe it's part of his plan.
Maybe. Who knows, man? It's Chainsaw Man. Next chapter, we could see Chainsaw Man eating Kobani's car for all we know.
If that happens, I'll read Shield Hero 22.
Oh God! All right, Fujimori, make it happen.
Alrighty. Any final thoughts, Kyle?
No, I'm content with what we've said.
Alrighty. Well, if you're this far in the video, obviously there's something you like. So be sure to like and subscribe, and check out Goobers and Screens Book Club every Monday. Currently airing Hunter x Hunter, starting Bleach next, which we've already started, and it's very enjoyable. If you enjoy this type of content, be sure to check this out as well as my other videos. We will see you all next time on The Rat's Nest with a video that comes out next. Goodbye.
Bye.